Introduction to Jamil and consequences to society. In the third episode, Asura overhears her father's conversation on phone. She's disappointed at her father's dishonesty in a business deal. Her father retorts that he's done all this for the family. Then they have a fight about this. After the fight, Asura returns to her room. The little pet Camelot decides to have the time travel with Asura. This time, they go to London in the 19th century, meeting the great British philosopher John Mill. John Mill was a prodigy. Under his father's tutelage, he learned ancient Greek, Latin, mathematics, poetry, and many other subjects at an early age. Asura is curious whether John Mill was really happy when he was a child under his father's strict discipline. Before they further discuss the question, Mill's best friend and future wife, Harriet Taylor, comes along and tells them that there is a protest in the street. They rush to the scene. On their way, Mill introduces the great happiness principle. According to the principle, the ultimate goal of morality aims at the greatest happiness of the greatest number of people. In this connection, the choice of an action is right when compared to other possible choices, if the action can increase more happiness or decrease more pain of the people at large. Mill further makes a distinction between the lower and higher pleasures. The lower pleasure is about the bodily short-term pleasure. Mill argues that humans should aim at the higher pleasure, which consists in the intellectual long-term happiness. Mill illustrates his point with his famous comparison between an unsatisfied wise person and a fully satisfied fool. What do you think about this comparison? I mean, do you want to be an unsatisfied wise person or a fully satisfied fool? Mill gives his answer to Asura with an interesting explanation. See if you would agree with Mill or not. Harriet illustrates the greatest happiness principle with an example. It's about a fire at a factory. Owing to the limited resources, the hospital has to make a difficult decision. They only selectively provide medical treatment to the patients who were more likely to survive than others, hoping that they might save more people by so doing. In other words, some patients were selectively sacrificed. If you think that the hospital's decision has a point, it may be good to recall Kant's principle of humanity that we discussed in the second comic episode. According to Kant's principle of humanity, no one should be treated merely as a means, because everyone has their human dignity. But under the greatest happiness principle, some people may be used merely as a means to increasing more happiness of more people. There is indeed a tension between Kant's moral principle, which is called deontology, and Mill's, which is called utilitarianism or consequentialism. Mill judges the moral value of an action by its consequence, while Kant does it by the agent's motivation. When Mill arrives at the scene of the protest, he delivers a speech there. He asks the protesters to put down their fists and use their words and passion when they are fighting for the equality and liberty. Before Asura could finish listening to Mill's full speech, she's brought back to the present, all of a sudden again. After Asura returns home, she talks with her father again. She couldn't totally agree with her father, but she thinks that she can at least understand her father more. Her father is doing something wrong according to Mill's moral theory. But could Asura accuse her father of being a bad father? Life seems often caught in this sort of dilemma, doesn't it? What do you think?